Hi, this is KV, and this is the moon phase report for Capricorn. Okay, so this is one of those times when you are ready to clear that garbage down below, clear out that basement, clear out all those things from early childhood that said you weren't good enough and you weren't loved, and all the whatever abuse you had or whatever neglect and whatever any of that stuff that you are still holding on to and defining yourself as, and holding yourself back because you think, well, who's gonna love me? That happened to me, and nobody loved me then, and da 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 da, and all that stuff from down below that is anything of a lower vibration, or anything that keeps you from thinking you're really awesome and lovable and doing good things and special, and all of that has got to go with this lunar eclipse. It's going to be coming to you anyway. It's going to be coming up in your mind anyway. You're just going to be thinking about all those things that you've called your story, and have, pretty much like reinforced as you've gotten older by continuing to say, but yeah, that happened to me, but yeah, I had to go through that, and and all that stuff. And it's time to start fresh. It's time to let that stuff go and begin again with a clear slate, to really go back and make peace with anybody who hurt you, to go back and forgive anybody who hurt you, and just kind of understand, if they did it to you, it was done to them. And it's a really important thing to remember with abuse and neglect and all that kind of stuff. Somebody who came from a solid, whole, positive growing up experience would not be able to do those kind of hurtful things to you. So the things that were done to you were done to them too. So it's really time to let the past go, forgive that stuff, and clear the slate. It's so important right now because you are geared up and in this really perfect position to have these incredible, amazing things happen within your career spectrum, so that more opportunities can come, so that people will respect you more, so that people will admire you more, and so that people will really be able to vibrationally feel the deep, powerful wisdom that you possess within you, that teacher, that wisdom that you have from walking so much of the neglect and so much of the not touching, or the not love, or the sexual abuse, or whatever it is. I'm sure there's numerous things for you, actually. But just, just kind of like, enough is enough. Why do you want to keep carrying these baggages? If you could really imagine it as weight, and carrying all this dead weight on your shoulders. No wonder your guys are the ones who have like shoulder pain and back pain, and like, you're carrying too much of a burden. And really just look at this opportunity right now with this lunar eclipse, of just like being done with it once and for all, being done with it and shedding it from your body, from your energetic karmic aura, and it's so funny because it's like, these healing calls that I talked about in the main reading, they just birthed into this world through this collaboration, but at such a perfect time. You guys need to be on this call. You guys need to be thinking about all this stuff, because you'll be asked, what would you like Kuan Yin and these guides and angels to come take out of your system? And you should be like, oh, I want all those limiting things from childhood that have kept me locked in a lower vibration, not really believing that I'm valuable, or I'm worthy of love, or I'm worthy of being seen as special, or whatever, and really putting them outside of your body and allowing these other spirits to come through and wipe them away and get them out of you right now. So this is where you're at right now. And let me actually look at the chart. Yeah, so, okay. There's going to be something too that, so that's going to be the main focus of this full moon. the main focus of how to move you forward and to get you in more of a powerful position in your career and have more abundant opportunities that match where you are at, is by you have to go down below and do all this cleaning of where you didn't feel nurtured and loved and valued in your childhood days. So it's time to completely rewrite a story. You know, I think I've told you before how I had a really big shift in my life because I just realized how I kept saying this same old story, and just it was like every time I'd say it, it made my shoulders go down and feel like a loser. And then when I just decided to say this story in a completely different way that actually wasn't the truth, it's not really how it went down, but when I just started saying it in this other way, like my shoulders were so much more, you know, like, it just changed my whole physique, you know, and I just kept my words aren't coming. I kept saying a different story, and then everything kind of shifted in my life. So it's kind of crazy that it can be so easy like that, but because of the Mars opposing Neptune, it is really easy for you like that. It's with your thought processes. It's with, you know, you're going to feel like this desire to like bring things to a higher tone, you know, bring things to a higher, more expansive, more all is possible tone. And it's going to be kind of with you connecting more with spirit and believing more that there is a natural order to everything, and everything had to happen to create this eventual picture down the road, and really kind of surrendering to, you know, not only is everything happening just as it should, and that there's a higher order to it, but that there is a need for you to be more compassionate with your words, not so limiting with your words, not so harsh with your words, not so opening so freely to allowing yourself to be a victim and always having to have the hard road and always having to struggle, and, you know, kind of shifting that into, you know, more trusting what is happening in your life, and you know, bringing just some more compassionate love in the way you're communicating, more hope in the way you're communicating, and more seeing it as like, you know, I trust this process, and I know I'm supported, and I know I'm taken care of. And, you know, if you can do that now, you can go through leaps and bounds, because all this energy is down below. It's all from your beginning days. It's all that stuff that you just do not need to carry around with you anymore. And Mercury is going retrograde 2 days after this eclipse, and that's so important. So you are going to be given, you know, this cycle of really kind of seeing loud and clear, like where you're saying things in the wrong way, how you're saying things in the wrong way, how you're inside still like painting yourself as a victim, or believing that it has to be so much harder than it does, and reinforcing these things that we need you to stop doing, because we need to, everything is so lined up for you to be this, you know, being really respected as this wise teacher person who can really help a lot of people. But you might not be having the benefits that you want just yet, because your thoughts really aren't on valuing yourself and really kind of honoring the earth walk that you've had, and seeing the value in each one of those things that you've learned. But at some point it is like, let it go, you know, find the golden nugget of value in it, but don't so put yourself into believing you're a victim because you've had it so hard. And I know you're a Capricorn, you guys have it kind of, you have a long journey of learning through a lot of suffering, but right now with the energies, it's like, learn from it and move on. You know, take the wisdom, because now that you've walked it, you can actually be this teacher and share it. Had you not walked it, you couldn't be that. But just kind of say, okay, I've walked enough of it. I'm done now. Bring me the wisdom of it, and let me let go of all the rest. You know, so that I have no emotional charges now associated with some of the things that happened in your past. So that is fantastic, right? There's also going to be, there's going to be a lot of like, you're going to feel like probably more connected to spirit right now. There's a lot of energies opening you to really kind of working with other energies to clear this stuff, to work with your wounds, to rise above in regard to your wounds. So if you are feeling pulled back to really kind of be in your own space and not be out in the world too much, that's great. There is a lot of clearing that can occur through you just kind of pulling back and, you know, scanning your life, and more just surrendering and allowing the pictures to come to you, and then allowing just being an observer and watching them, and not like buying into the negativity of them and cementing that into your auric field. So, you know, if you can imagine how you would be if somebody else came to you with all this stuff from their past, you know, you would definitely be more about like, you know, I guess you need to walk your talk right now, you know, because you would definitely be more supportive about wanting to help them rise above it and move past it, and not keep hanging on to this stuff. You would innately do that, you know, you would want to show them how to rise above. So kind of trust that like Spirit is trying to do that right now through you, for you, so that you can let this stuff go and just, you know, honor yourself more, and not keep reinforcing these stories in a negative manner, you know, to move to a higher place of thinking it's okay that that stuff happened to you, but it doesn't mean you have to keep being in this prison, you know, imprisoning yourself with these things that you had no control over. You know, you couldn't defend yourself. You couldn't, it's just what was supposed to happen for your earth walk, but it's just so that you could walk this wisdom in order to share it for others who are now having to go through it and are struggling through it. So right now, it's, I mean, even too, if you want to like, you know, I would definitely suggest getting all the garbage out of your house, everything that's backing up energy out of your house, redecorating things, getting the feng shui right. Everything is really starting from your foundation right now. You know, redoing your office if you're busy, if your business isn't so busy, really redoing your office, you know, putting some healing love into it. But starting with everything from the roots and the foundation is where you're focused right now. And it's going to be pretty effortless though. Everything's going, because Mercury is going retrograde, it's going to show you all this stuff that you need to let go of. So I would say kind of just sit back and rest right now and watch all these things and, you know, release them, you know. Watch them go and don't hang on. There's a big thing about don't try to fight anything that's wanting to leave right now. Just let it go. Okay? All right. Go watch the main video, though. There's a lot for you in there. And I will see you on the new moon on November 3rd. You have a beautiful day. Bye.